Hey, this ain't a drill. Only time I playing is on the field. And when I'm on the field, no, I got mad skills. And you know we bout to eat this a fast meal. Y'all gotta pay for this heat like a gas bill. We keep on coming back, so yeah, they mad still. Everyone sick, make them pay with some bad bills. Red, white, and blue like Superman, so you know we eating at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the funeral. Josh Allen catching all the shots you go for. We callin' blitz. Ready to start, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the #1 draft pick. A lot of y'all talk, but I ain't hearing it. Only listen to Keyshawn and him. Talk about the Bills, dominating on the field. All our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill. When we talk about the Bills, dominating on the field. And our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill.
What's going on? Welcome back to another live episode of the Post Podium Podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes. I am your co-host, Aramis.
And I am Dan Rather. No, just 40 keys, huh?
I thought you was about to pretend to be Dan.
Oh no, I can't yet. I gotta get more mannerisms.
Okay. All right, and of course we got Dan producing for us. Say what's up to the folks.
What's up?
All right. So look, we've been gone for a while. We've been gone since last Friday.
Yes,
basically.
Yes, we have.
We did not do a show on Monday. It was my son's 9th birthday.
Ooh, and it was also so. Why would I put it on me? You should have said it on the show. I got to work it out. No, it's Key's fault. He like, yeah, it's his fault.
I put out the notification in the Discord chat, which is
see how you stuttering. He know he did. Nah, it's him. He did it.
Just listen to me, believe me, please. Yeah. So, I mean, it was a good time. It was a good time. This dude.
Happy birthday, Ray.
Yeah, so for Christmas he gets a Nintendo Switch 2, right? For his birthday he gets 2 extra controllers for this thing so that we can play as a family. And then I also got him a PS5.
Okay.
Right? So now I don't have to hear the complaining about why he only wants to play on my game system, even though there was a 4 in the because we have a playroom that's just for the kids.
Yeah, over here, same thing. I had that issue.
Right. So eventually you get to the place where it's like, all right, just do it. We just got to do it. Right. So I set that up for him. And I think I might have to get a bigger TV now too.
Oh, you might have to get a bigger TV
because he's still on the fence. Like he'll be in there when he has to, but he still likes being in the living room.
Nah, TV I'm about to have me a PlayStation 5 in a minute.
You can get rid of that actually.
I'm trying to see. Oh, we got the comments on.
Yep.
Okay,
right here.
Cool.
And let's switch that on. Bam, and that's what I was working on, is getting this in here too. All right, so
boom. All
right, so we're good to go. We're golden now. Comments up there. What's going on, folks? Tommy, what up? What up? Sweat, what's going on, man?
You know what? No, you're not getting away from this.
What
did you do this week? Where did you go?
Where did I go?
Y'all were caught. Oh, y'all were on the Jumbotron on TV. Oh, this man over here who talks about me for watching hockey was at the game with his family, and they were like, they was sitting there like, and I said, oh, okay. So I had an idea. I don't have time to do another show, but guess what? We should knock down the Bill show by a show a week and do a hockey show.
No.
Think about it. No. Hear me out.
Okay.
2 black dudes calling a hockey. It's never been done before.
And it never will be.
We can corner this market.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It could be us.
Sure.
What do you guys think? Nate, don't answer. I know Nate nah.
You know how long it would take for us to research hockey? I don't know anything about hockey.
It would be long enough to try to get you to pronounce the names right.
All I know is the environment at hockey games are so much more enjoyable, bro.
Mm-hmm. Said no.
Yeah, exactly. Please no. But yeah, I had a great time. That was my 3rd hockey game I'd ever been to.
Mm-hmm.
And this like the other 2 times were last year when they were terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean the last season, like not last
pick
year.
A season lasts like 17 years, yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, and being at a game where they're actually good and they actually won, like that was even better. You know what I mean? Like it's the environment was electric. My children had a ball. And I mean, it's nice when your mother-in-law can just get tickets too. You know, that helps. It helps. So thank you to mom-in-law.
No, Tommy, I was actually going to ask Tommy if he wanted to be the guest every third show. I guess that's no, fine. Whatever.
Yeah, Nate. Yeah, Nate. Aramis was like, "Why are there painted circles on there?" No, I know you're supposed to get the puck in the net. I know that much.
You get the basic premise, yes.
Right. I know what icing is. I know, you gotta wait until the puck crosses the blue line first before everybody can pass it. Like I know some
toe drags and all that stuff.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Stop, Sweat. Stop encouraging this. No, we're not doing that.
You got 4 years, brother. 4 years.
We're not doing that.
But yeah, no, I'm glad y'all have fun. I look like your kids look like they definitely have fun. So good on you.
Yeah, they had a ball. My daughter didn't want to leave that game, and what was crazy about it is when we left, it was 4-0.
Right. Yo, I was so stressed out.
Really?
I texted my, I said, they better not. I said, yo, I swear, if they lose this game.
Yo, I would, first off, I would have been happy that I left before that happened, because my children, they would have been mad. Yeah, you can't, and they would have gotten home, and then they would have wanted to stay up, because they're a lot like me. Like, if I'm upset, like, I can't just go to sleep. Like, I don't care what my bedtime is. I'm sorry. Funny story, actually. Funny story. Sidebar. So there's certain points of time where when I get mad, I just start cleaning, which is the weirdest thing to me. And I do it. Like, I'm the one doing this. And as I'm cleaning, I'm like, what is wrong with me right now?
I missed the spot.
Right. I start picking stuff up, putting it in the right place and all that. Maybe it's some control issue or something like that. I don't know. But like, there's certain points in time, and I realized that because later that night, I forgot what it was. Oh no, this might have been a couple of nights ago. I don't know. But anyway, I get home and I'm not with it.
Mm-hmm.
Not with it. And I just start cleaning out of nowhere. I'm like, yo, what? Yeah. And Caitlin is like, yeah, I'm starting to notice a trend. Maybe I need to make you mad more often. Nah, you probably don't want to do that.
I'd be discombobulated myself. So yeah, I feel you.
The wife will find a way to get that going. I promise you. Because not that I don't clean up behind myself already,
but it's extra.
When I start like taking stuff off her plate, like a lot of stuff off her plate, like that's a bonus for her.
A bonus for her. Yeah, just get a helmet and a mouthpiece and hey,
that's it.
You suck. What?
I immediately put the controller down and get up and say, no, this is ridiculous.
I know she didn't just say this.
No, this is too dusty. No, we gotta wipe this down. This is ridiculous. No. Oh man. So I still never found out what happened to you on Monday.
I don't know what happened to me on Monday. What happened to me on Monday?
I don't know. You had to work or something?
Yeah, I had to work late. I was late Monday, Tuesday. So yeah. And that screwed my whole week up. I am like in sensory overload right now. I am like, like everything is like, I'm at the point now where I like walk around and like, I'm thinking 2 steps ahead and forgot why I got into this room. And I'm like, let me go sit back down there and figure out what I didn't have so I can get back up and come here and do this again. Last week I didn't sleep well. This week it's just been, oh man, I've been wound too tight. So I usually have water. Not this time. This is my second one today.
Oh yeah. I'm not surprised, but I am surprised. Usually one is good enough for you.
Yeah, not today.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's how you know. Like today's been rough.
Oh yeah, these contacts are coming out as soon as I get off this show. What we got? Let's see.
Sweat does it too. Okay, it's weird. I don't know why I do it. I just do it. Nico said, when I'm upset, I binge eat my, I start binging straight out the window. Hey, listen, I would say I binge eat more out of stress as opposed to like being upset. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I'll stress eat sometimes. Tommy says Mr. Fancy Pants Key with his Starbucks coffee.
Man, hey, I told you.
He spends a good $1 on that coffee now.
I'm a stakeholder in Starbucks. They know me by name. I told you, they know me by voice at the voice box. They don't have to see me or see my card. They were like, can I help? Hi, Keyshawn, come around. I'm like, Okay.
Can I get a venti $13.99?
Oh, that too.
Well, yeah. Like I ain't even asked nothing. $13.99.
Pull around, LeBron.
How you know it was me?
You're no.
Right. You the only fool to come around here saying you're $13.99. Pull around.
Put some milk in it. You lactose intolerant, Keyshawn. How you know that?
You lactose intolerant. You don't drink no milk. Yo, I gotta repost that.
That
For those of y'all
hilarious.
that haven't seen that, that's hilarious.
Yeah, that was funny as ever. Mr. Fancy Pants. No, this is necessity. Cornholio. No, that'd be if I had energy before I drank this. If I had energy before I drank the coffee, I wouldn't be drinking coffee. I don't like coffee all that much. But to sustain my life, that's my core blood right there.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen you go a day without it.
Nah, you won't.
Like
I have it on Saturday too.
I remember we was walking through the mall one day and he was like, yo, I gotta go grab a cold brew. I'm like, what? This is when I first found out what a cold brew is. And this is back when you was calling it the sludge. You wasn't calling it a cold brew. You was like, I gotta give me some sludge. I'm like, what the hell is sludge? My dude, what?
Like, let me get you a little bit. You're like, oh God. Oh.
Nope, you lost me that day. You definitely lost me that day.
Like, how grown up a man are you out of this stuff? I guess I don't know.
Yeah. Nate says shout out to Artie Moats for last night's show with Coach D. That was a fun show, bro. That was a fun show. Hopefully we can get some more folks on on the podcast and on Coach D's Corner. But bro, we was talking ball. Like there was this one point in the show where Art and Coach D just start like talking about the way that players are communicating on the field, and they doing the hand signals and the calls and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, I'm picturing this stuff in my mind as they saying this, and I'm like, this is so dope. Yeah, this is so dope. Yeah. You don't get to hear that kind of stuff and see that kind of stuff, with the context, I guess.
Yeah, now you know what they're saying without even knowing what they're saying. Now, when they do this or they do that, you know what they're saying. It's, so yeah, it's definitely cool when you have somebody that's done it, been there before. Yep. All I can tell you is what happens when they tap you on your butt. That tells you to move a certain way, or they're gonna rush a certain way. I played D-line. I didn't have hand motions and fun stuff like that. They just used to come up and just smack you, and you're supposed to know what they wanted you to do at that point. Yep.
All right. I think we've gotten through the pleasantries, right?
We got 40 people watching right now, so yeah. What you want to talk about first?
I mean, it's very nice that 40 people are either watching us and the game at the same time, or deciding that the game can wait. Whichever it is for you, thank you very much. Either way. But this Jaguars game, bro, I and you know this because before Friday of last week, before we even knew who we were playing, the Jaguars are one of the teams that I was saying, like, we need to stay away from them boys, right? After doing the research.
So you changed, didn't you?
I did.
Yep. Thank you.
I absolutely did. Thank you, Sweat. Says the amazing show last night. After doing the research, I'm looking at this Jaguars team like they kind of paper tigerish. You know what I mean? Like the stuff that matters for this team, like Trevor Lawrence is taking more sacks than Josh Allen has. You look at certain plays where he's just holding on to the ball and not getting it out on time. I mean, there's the aspects of their defense where, and I want to show some of this stuff too here. I got a couple of examples from the Broncos Jaguars game where Sean Payton is just running some basic high-low stuff on their zone, and he's ripping them to shreds. You know what I mean? Now, granted, the Jaguars win that game, but it's a shootout. You know what I mean? Like this, and the other part of this too is the Broncos don't have a run game, so it wasn't like they were opening up the Jaguars defense with the run and then hitting them with the pass. Like this was just strictly like this was a passing game, pretty much the whole time when you go back and look at it. So.
Yeah, I mean, this is what got me, and this is the only thing I hate about the fact we only do a show. Well, not the only thing, but the only reason. One of the big things I hate about doing a show twice a week, and that's it. I have points that I sit on all week, and I have to sit and listen to Lughead say what I was going to say.
Yeah,
the whole time because that's the hard part. The whole time about this thing, the number one run defense based on what? What are we basing it on? We're basing it on the dumbest stat you could base it on. Yards accrued against. Guess what? If you look at who they played against guys who didn't really do anything against them. They played against, Ashton Genty, Chase Brown. They played Kamani Vidals. And when they run, guess what? They average 4+ yards a carry. Nick Chubb, almost 6 yards a carry.
Yeah.
But the thing is, people don't run on them because they get up on you fast. The Bills aren't going to have that problem.
Yep.
The Bills are going to have a good run game, I think. And I think, we're going to talk about this in depth later, but I think when you look at who they played versus who we're bringing to the table, 17, I don't care about his foot. You got to run because their defensive line of front seven allowed 8% of their rushes against were 10 or plus yards. So that means Young got off on him, Bryce Young. That means CJ Stroud got off on him. That means Davis Mills got off on him.
Oof.
That means So these are guys that ran successfully against them. It can be done.
Yeah.
So that number one, miss me with that. Don't ever go off of total yards against. That's the dumbest stat ever.
Right.
Because you got to look at first next thing. I was like, how many times did people run against them? How did that work? Because their average yards per carry against is high because about 5 yards, but somebody was averaging 9 yards a carry against them, but they only ran like 8 times. The most that you got running against by one person was 14 carries against them. James Cook can run more than 14 times. As long as Joe Brady doesn't say, you know what, I'm afraid of this now, we're going to go start passing, then we'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's one major talking point on this that I think we can start with, and I think everything will kind of, funnel out from this. Did you hear Jeremy White talking about his issue with the resume conversation?
I heard, but I didn't really hear what he was saying. I didn't get a chance to really listen and taking the message he was getting out there. What was he saying?
So he has a problem with people listing the quarterbacks that the Jaguars have played, the teams that the Jaguars have played, all to kind of make this case that the Jaguars are not as good as we think they are, or not as good as other people are making them out to be, because you haven't really played a certain level of competition that demands that kind of respect, right?
Okay.
And his point is, or his contention to the point is, who have the Bills played? How many playoff teams have the Bills beaten, right? And for all you want to say about the quarterbacks that the Jaguars have played, there's only one other quarterback in your own division that's worth anything right now. And when he's saying this stuff, it's like, okay, he's not wrong,
right?
But I think the idea behind talking about resume is it's a precursor. It's a precursor to a level of research that you have to do in order to truly understand who you're dealing with.
Okay.
Right. And so my issue with his stance on the resume conversation, and I want your thoughts on this, is if you take resume out of the conversation, how are you getting to know the team that you're playing against? Because when we're talking about video review, the Bills are reviewing games from the regular season. Not only that, but so the way this is what Coach D told me. So what they do is they get one game of the what works against the Jaguars. They get one game of what doesn't work against the Jaguars. Then they also throw in a third game, which is a game that they want the team to watch of Bills versus Jags. You know what I'm saying? This regime and most of these players on this team have been there for those last couple of Bills Jags games. The one overseas and then the last one that we played, I think was last year, right?
Yeah.
So they'll pull one of those games or something like that where, hey, these are some of the things that we did conceptually against this team that worked, and this is what they've done against us. So that's how they do their film scouting, right? And in all of that is the resume, because the issue with the resume is don't look at their history. Well, you can't. You have to. The team does it. So if the team is doing it, why can't we? Why is it that we have to only go based off of how they look or only go based off of what people are saying about them today. You know what I mean?
This is my thought on resume. Resume, I think he worded it well. He didn't word it wrong. The concept is wrong.
Okay.
For me, I like the concept of what works against this team, but like the concept of what doesn't work against this team. But what I don't care about is how we played against them. What I care about is how they stack up against teams that play similar to how we play.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to see. Because what we did against them last year might not work this year, even if we execute it perfectly, because they know what we did. And I think you have to you got to be almost nameless in regards to what worked against, because maybe CJ Stroud and a hapless Texans offense, Davis Mills with a anemic Texans offense, did something extremely well.
Yep.
We can pick up on that. But does that mean that we shouldn't be thinking about them losing or beating this team because it's Davis Mills and the offense that has no face? No, let's learn from it regardless. That's the resume. The resume is what works, what doesn't work. I don't care who did it. I don't care if it was luck. I don't care if it was, a lot of injuries. I don't care if they tried something new. I want to see all the wrinkles that they might put into this game, because you can piece together a football philosophy, a football game plan if you watch enough film on the team. Yeah. Obviously there's ways to attack multiple different fronts. You have to figure out what they do the most, and you have to figure out what do you do that can counteract it. I don't expect us to go into this game, and just dominate this team. Do I think we can? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I think we can. I was telling the guy in the gym earlier today, I said, he said, Key, do you think? He said, what do you think? Are you nervous? I said, no. I said, we should blow them out. He's like, why you say that? He's like, you crazy? I said, no. Listen to what I said. Should.
Mm-hmm.
If they come out and execute, I said, if Josh Allen comes out 9 of 13 for 52 yards in the first half again, I'm like, what the hell? Like, oh God,
that's a problem.
That's a problem. But if we come out there and we're getting it going with it, I'm like, okay, cool. We can do this thing.
Yep.
But we need to understand what it is about them by listening to metrics. They're a great run defense team. Let's not run. But if you delve into it, like you said, with the resume, how many times do teams run? Where do they run? Outside, inside? Who's running? What's their rushing style? What is their blocking scheme? How does Jacksonville counteract that? Can they? Are they going to twist? Are they going to stunt? Are they going to do these green blitzes that they call? And how do we counteract and make their weaknesses our strengths? Because it's about resumes. For the Buffalo Bills, the resume is the Bills have done it before time and time again. Jacksonville is just now getting there. They got hot in the last 8 games.
Yep.
But the Bills have been hot the last 5 years. This was a down year for us. We know how to get to this position, but we need to learn how to transition and get past where we're used to being stymied. Where Jacksonville is like, they're going into this like, what's it like? Picture Josh Allen 2019. That's kind of what Trevor Lawrence is going into with regards to Sunday. I think he's been there, a few times, but he's at home. He's got stakes in the shoulder. He's got the guy across the field that everybody says is the greatest quarterback in the league. What do I do? How do I counteract that? What kind of game plan are they going to throw at me? I got a left tackle that's not going to play, possibly. What is Joey Bosa going to do? Are they going to put Greg Rousseau over there? What is their game plan? I got to figure this out. And that's the resume that people are talking about, that should be talking about, rather. Not so much, They didn't play anybody. Nobody plays anybody, depending on who you are, because everybody has a bad team. The Bills can't beat the Kansas City Chiefs, but the Chiefs get beat by a lot of other teams. So does that mean that they're not worth talking about? I think not. You still need to talk about the teams that are not good, or the teams that are paper tigers. You have to take them all seriously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I mean, and I don't think that the resume point is there to say that we shouldn't take them seriously.
Right.
But I think there's a level of, how can I put this? It's like, okay, so those of you who are old enough to remember the book War of the Worlds, where there was an alien invasion, and then come to find out their weakness was water.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I think the movie Signs was very similar, where the alien's weakness was water. I think the idea behind the resume conversation is you have this presence that seems to be very overwhelming in a Jaguars team that is the 3 seed. You have not been good on your own resume playing playoff games on the road. This season, you are what 5-4 on the road. I think it is
somewhere.
You're like a game over 500 on the road because of the New England game that you won on the road. You just barely made it over 500. So there's all these aspects to the Bills season that kind of lead you towards this is a very, very tough and very bad matchup for of a very, very tough and bad matchup for the Buffalo Bills. But then you kind of realize, hey, this one alien got a little bit of water on it and it died. Well, let me see what happens when I try it again. We can kill him with what's on this earth, 70% of where we're at, they're weak to, right? Let's use that. And I think the resume conversation is that. I think the resume conversation is the initial realization of, there's a weakness there that could be exploited. And I think that's the thing that initially, people latched onto as, wait a second, we thought there was no hope. There actually is a little bit of hope, right? And when I say hope, I mean an expected end. I mean, the idea that we're setting out to win, and now there's a strong possibility that possibility exists.
Right.
So I think to what Jeremy White is saying, and this leads me to my next point on narratives. I think completely downplaying resume in general is. I want to say you're solely trying to make the point because you don't like the overreaction the other way. You just if you're upset about resume conversations, you don't like overreactions in general. You like to stay even keel. You like to see what happens before you get emotional either way, right? And this is possibly his way of doing that, which more power to him. I respect it. I just would not let that reign over my response to other people saying that on the radio. Because I've heard him, he'll have a caller on and they'll say, these are paper tigers. They haven't played anybody. Their division is not that great. And the quarterback's in there, blah, blah, blah. And he'll hear them out. And then as soon as they get off the phone, he'll go right back to talking about resumes. Like, bro, like, I get it. I get that that's your mindset, but that the way you're categorizing their points doesn't solely fall on just resume talk. You're putting it in a box and putting a top on it as if it's supposed to be irrelevant. And that's the issue that I'm taking with it. Yeah. Like, you can't say like it's just resume talk as if it should not be, you know what I mean? But that brings me to my next point. I think national media has taken another narrative way too far, and even with them taking it too far, it's the wrong. They're focusing on the wrong person, right? Before we get to that, big shout out to Scott. Thank you very much. Yeah, let's get to this question first. It says, if you were Bobby Babich, what would you put in the playbook to stop Jacoby Myers or even the run game? Your thoughts, bro?
Run game, I'm not worried about. Believe it or not, I'm not worried about the run game. They've had an uptick in the way they play the game, and I think Fedarian Mathis, I'll say it right because I think he's going to be here next year too. I think that introduction to the defensive rotation is big. That takes Jordan Phillips out of it a little bit. That alleviates Deion Walker from having to run stuff because that's not really a strong suit. TJ Sanders coming in, keeping him fresh. He's not really going to offer that much of the run game, but I think Jacoby Myers is the one you have to limit. You're not going to stop him unless, some freak of nature. He's good against cover two. He's actually perfectly suited for playing against zone, which we should run, especially with the fact that Maxwell is out, or Max is out. We're thin. We don't want to see Dane Jackson on the field, but I think if you're looking at certainly likes big 75. No, I don't like 75, 72. 75, I don't like. 75, I don't.
Y'all better get that number right.
Yes, yeah. I think he needs to change his number. But anyway, back to the point. No, I think with regards to Jacoby Myers, you have to understand that he can be slowed down. You know, if you stop him, it's a plus. But I don't think you need to go into the game trying to take him completely out of the offense, because he's one guy, and you still got to figure out how you can get the look off of Jacoby Myers from Travis from Dave Lawrence. You know, if you can rush him, he's going to have to go through this progression faster, and you might have a chance where Myers is open exactly where Lawrence is looking at him.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think Jacoby Myers is a separator. That's his role in this offense, right? And for the most part, the way that I've seen the Jaguars use Jacoby Myers opens things up for Parker Washington, which you know, that guy has been a big part of their offense even before Jacoby Myers got there, right? So they like getting him the ball. He's when you think Parker Washington, you want to think, you know, your traditional slot guy, your Amon-Ra St. Brown style of player, where, you know, he's going to get a lot of touches, he's going to break a couple tackles, he's going to, you know, get some yard after catch and all that kind of stuff. And I think Jacoby Myers creates enough separation to be enough of a threat to stretch the defense out and make them play the entire field, as opposed to trying to just, you know, choke out the middle of the field. Brian Thomas Jr. at this point in his career is serving a very specific role as a deep threat. Hasn't really shown that he can, you know, do a lot or be trusted with a lot just yet. But I think we kind of knew this about him in college. You know what I mean? Because that's a lot of what he's doing now is all the same stuff that he was doing in college. So it's going to take him some time to develop too. So realistically, if I'm the defense, Jacoby Myers, sure. You know, I don't think I'm going to focus my entire defense on, you know, stopping him and shutting him down. I think the idea is to confuse and punish the confusion of Trevor Lawrence and that offensive line.
Yeah.
I think those 2 points are the weakest points of this offense. And here's why. And this is specifically for this dude here. I like know who you are.
I like it. I was Duval.
I get it, but he's not aware of the troll curse that exists on this show.
Nah, you know.
So far, every single time we've had a playoff team fan come in here and troll us, their team is lost. This happened with the Ravens. This happened with the Ravens earlier this year in week 1. Every time somebody from another team comes in here and starts talking stuff, we end up winning that game, right? So be careful what you wish for, man.
Let's see, what is this? Flarian Flares 3568. Dan, you ready? Duval.
Yeah. I was just gonna Duval. Like,
cue that up on the soundboard.
I might do it.
But you know what's funny about
Johnny
it?
Cage saying Duval. Basically.
I know, right? He just like. But you know what's funny about this?
Or Nicolas Cage. I'm sorry, I said Johnny Cage. I don't know what
yeah. Or you know, this goes to Flarian Flares. I mean, no, it's not really, you know, your team isn't respected. But it's just that I think that there's a lot of holes that people have yet to explore with your guys. So may you win? You might. It depends on. I mean, honestly, I think you win depending on how the Bills play. I don't think the Jaguars beat the Bills. I think the Bills beat the Bills if we lose on Sunday.
Yeah, I agree. One of the other things that I wanted to bring up about beating this offense, and then we'll get back to the narrative. This got way off on that. I didn't know this until I heard Sal say it today, and I don't know if there was any way I could have found this out if Sal hadn't said it. But Liam Cohen is doing with Trevor Lawrence what Sean McVay used to do with Jared Goff, which is right up until that 15-minute mark when the microphone turns off in the helmet, he's
telling them everything.
He's giving them the cheat codes to what he's seeing on the field, right? So I mean, if Sal knows that, the Bills know that.
Yep.
And not only has Sean been one of the best in the league at changing the picture after the ball is snapped.
Yeah, I heard it right.
I give credit where credit is due. I still don't like the guy, but I can talk about what he's good at.
Non-partial. There you go.
Right. So not only has he been one of the best in the league at that, but now he's got this added benefit of, hey, maybe I can just do some things with formations at the at the start of the down, when they line up. I can switch some things up formationally, or as soon as the 15-second mark comes, rush 4 dudes up to the line of scrimmage, and now all of a sudden you don't know who's coming, which is the simulated pressure stuff that the Bills have been running out of their 3-3-5 formation. So I think there's defensively, I think this is going to be the toughest game of the year for Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I think so too. Like everybody said, the back five is shored up. So before you're coming back, you have your defensive backs intact.
Yep.
Max Harrison would have been nice as a rotational platoon guy, but with
he was
Trey
rotating
White,
anyway.
Yeah, I was saying Trey White has been fine. Benford is fine.
Yep.
Taron Johnson, Cam Lewis, whoever is fine.
Yep.
Your 2 safeties, fine. So it's like, and I'm looking while we're talking. I was looking at what's this guy's name? Jacoby Myers, and he only had 1 game over 75 yards since he's been in Jacksonville. So I mean, can he go off? Sure, but at what cost? If he goes off, maybe Brian Thomas Jr. doesn't go off. Maybe Parker doesn't go off. Maybe the tight end doesn't go off. So if you want to funnel everything to him, fine. We'll shut everything else down and make him beat us.
That's it. Okay, so the narrative, right?
Yep.
National media, really anybody I hear talking about the Bills, and what the narrative is about the Bills going into the playoffs. You hear everybody say, hey, if Josh don't get it done, Mahomes is not in the playoffs, and Lamar is not in the playoffs, Burrow's not in the playoffs. Like Josh, this is your shot. Like they go heavy so hard talking about Josh. And this whole time, what's been missed is really it should be Sean having the most pressure in this situation. Now, before y'all roll your eyes, allow me to make the case.
I was just saying.
Okay?
Go ahead.
Allow me to make the case. Bear with me, y'all. I'm going to start with this. It has come to my attention through certain sources that there's credence to this theory that John Harbaugh is purposely waiting until after the first round of the playoffs because he has a strong sense that if the Packers or the Bills lose their games, both teams could be firing their head coaches. Like if the Packers and the Bills lost, both teams, there's a strong sense that both teams will fire their head coach. Initially, when I heard that report, because I heard that report 2 days ago, and when I heard it, I'm like, there's no way. When you think about what Sean has done this season and getting his team to the playoffs and all that kind of stuff, if he had missed the playoffs, I'd listen to it, but he made the playoffs. Then I thought about this. Sean McDermott, it's been said by the owner, it's his show, which means the criteria that is used to draft the players in rounds 1, 2, and 3, like we've talked about before, comes from Sean, right? The culture in the building comes from Sean. The staff hirings comes from Sean.
Mm-hmm.
The way this team is constructed schematically comes from Sean. So there's so much of his fingerprint on this team that it's hard to point at any one area of the team and say Sean hasn't been involved in this. Yeah,
before you go any further, I was just gonna say I like this guy already. I like this guy. I like this guy.
Okay.
Don't mess it up, but I like this guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is my contention. What you're saying is not I'm not there, but I know what you're saying. But see, that's why what have I always said? It's not 17 or bust. It's the Bills.
Right.
And this is what I've been trying to avoid. It's not one person. You can't put this, not talking about the front office stuff, but Nobody on the field you can put this on as a singular person unless they single-handedly throw the game away.
Yeah.
If Josh has 5 turnovers, yes. If Deion Dawkins allows 3 sacks, yes. If Christian Benford allows Jacoby Myers to go for 240 yards, yes. But other than that, no, this is a team thing. That's why it's called the Bills and not the Josh Allens.
Yeah.
I don't hate on, but I'm trying to shift the narrative so that when national media gets here, they don't hear you guys say, as long as we got 17, we're good. Because, yes, now it is Lamar Jackson versus Josh Allen versus Pat Mahomes. Get that out of their heads. We're a complete team. That's what we're trying to get to. And that's why everybody calls me a hater, this and third, whatever. I'll take that. But my point is exactly what you're trying to say. It's not just one person. In the victory, in the spoils, it's a collective effort.
Lindsay says, Aramis, I 100% agree with you. If we're one and done, I feel strong about Bean getting fired. McDermott is 50-50. So, okay. So you're 50-50 now. Let me make the case, and then you tell me how you feel after this. So everything that they're saying about Josh Allen, I think is even more so true for Sean McDermott, because we have the number 1 pass defense in the league. You've patchworked this defense to perfection this season in terms of getting them to play as a top 10 defense, right? In total defense, I think the Bills right now are 7th in the NFL, which is saying a lot for what for the players that we have and the players that we don't have on the field with us right now. Now, with that in mind, if Sean McDermott goes into these playoffs and loses to any of these quarterbacks, he had the built-in excuse of being in the Michael Jordan era, where Pat Mahomes, Andy Reid, they're just taking it. There's nothing you could do about it. They're gonna take your lunch. You just got to deal with it until you find a window. And for everybody that's saying this is a window, why is it a window? Because look at the landscape of quarterbacks that you got to go against. C.J. Stroud, Trevor Lawrence, Bo Nix, your boy in New England.
That's the one.
That's the only good one other than Josh Allen in these playoffs.
Yeah, if you're talking about Super Bowl, Matt Stafford maybe, but outside of
that's what I'm saying. So while everybody's talking about Josh Allen's competition with these other quarterbacks, they don't actually play each other. They play against each other's defenses. So let's stop that.
Yes.
Did you hear the Mina Kimes Dominic Foxworth clip that came out?
Yeah.
They made that point too. They were frustrated that everyone's saying it's all Allen. They're like, this defense is terrible.
Yeah. I mean, for all the perceptions about this defense, if you look at it, they're still 7th overall in total defense, right? They're still good. They're 31st against the run. That's where people kind of like, okay, they're not so great.
It's by design though.
Right.
And the thing
they
is,
want you to run.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, how bad were they? They were worse forever, and it wasn't close. They got better, and they moved up a slot. That's how bad they were. They got better in the last few stretch of games, and they moved up a slot.
Exactly.
So they're actually on the trend up. Jacksonville doesn't offer. I wrote that's a fake 7. I'll look at it because I like. See, this is what you can't do. You can't go against averages. Average is where you go because that gives you a better view of what they're doing. EPA, I still don't really understand the metric, but I can tell you that gives you something as well. But yeah, no, you're preaching to the choir. Everything you're saying now is what I've been screaming from the mountaintops. It's more than just. This is the fans. They gravitate towards one thing, Then the national media, because they don't watch the games, they listen to the fans.
Exactly,
and they say, "Oh, okay, you like this guy. Okay, so Josh Allen, Josh Allen. But see, the thing is, when people look at Josh Allen and he does something he always does, they say, "Oh, that's a play of the year." For people that know, they've seen him do it before. And I think for me, that's why I'm like, because I'm not judging Josh Allen against C.J. Stroud, against Justin Herbert. I don't care about them. I'm judging Josh against Josh. Have I seen him do this before? Oh, ho hum. Well, I guess the bar is raised. That's just like saying Coach McDermott is going to win. Like I said last show, he's never going to win the Coach of the Year as a Buffalo Bills coach. He can't, because he can't do anything now in a regular season he hasn't already done. Going undefeated, it's still not going to be good enough because they're going to say Josh Allen or James Cook now. It's built in. So when they say Josh Allen's done wonders or the best player of the year, best play of the year, I'm like, you've seen this a million times. Yeah. You're not a Bills fan. That lets me know that you don't watch this team.
Right.
Can I speak to something real quick?
Sure.
Yeah. No.
So I'm starting to get tired of this take that's going around a lot that McDermott has done an amazing job coaching up this team this year and putting the defense back into place.
Taking
or whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Am I wrong, or does the coach decide the depth chart?
Definitely.
Why is it that as injuries have happened, especially on the defensive side of the ball, it seems that some of our best players only got to play after injuries? The defense significantly improved when Rapp went out and when Bernard went out.
Yo, like that's a great point. Nobody talks about if Rapp never got hurt, he'd still be playing.
Oh yeah, I told you the best thing. But see, Bernard to me, I think if Milano would have went out for a long period of time, Bernard would have had to move over. I think they would have saw that Dorian Williams can't do it. They would have saw that Shaq Thompson can't do it. They said,
have we ever seen them just pull a guy like that?
What, if Milano got hurt?
No. I guess I could, and maybe got my wires crossed thinking my thought was the same thing that you were saying, but correct me if I'm wrong. What you're saying is if Terrell Bernard continued playing the way he was playing, they would have moved him over to Milano's spot and maybe moved Milano inside.
No, if Milano got hurt. If he got hurt, I think they would say, okay, Dorian Williams can't cover. Shaq Thompson's old. They're better over here.
Yeah.
This is our best cover guy. Sorry, Captain, but you got to eat this. We might not move you out of the middle per se, but you'll have more responsibilities that are more coverage based. And that's not pulling him off for merit or because of the way he played, but more so because of the void of talent that we have for coverage with the other guys that they put out there. Julian Dreesen ain't it.
I guess that's kind of what I was asking. And Dan, if you've seen this too, let me know. But I haven't seen Sean McDermott pull a guy for performance other than, you can't even say he pulled a Keon for performance either, because it was a maturity issue with Keon and getting the meetings on time and all that kind of stuff. And that combined with the lack of production is what made it easy to be like, no, we're gonna sit you down, let you got to learn, right? But that's
a lot of fans blame it on performance, but it wasn't a performance thing with Keon.
No, definitely not. No, but I think that's a great point, because if Rapp was never hurt and he still continued to play as poorly as he was playing, I think the most likely outcome is Sean just continuing to back him up because it's Sean's guy.
Sean's guy. Yep.
He knows the defense and he's the defensive quarterback in the secondary. He's calling the plays and blah blah blah.
Here's another one for you too.
Hold on one second. I was going to say Michael Johnson must not have watched the show when the season started, because up one next one. Yeah, I was livid with the fact that he had a cemented spot in his defense. I said, what the hell are we doing? I said, Cole Bishop is Taylor Rapp.
Do you remember what they said at the beginning of the season?
What's that?
In training camp, they said, we're looking for a safety that'll start next to Rapp.
Yep. Rapp was entrenched. And now it's Bishop's secondary. Right. I'm sorry, Dan. What were you going to say, though?
I was just going to say, I got another one for you. Dwayne Carter.
What do you do?
Nowhere.
Before he got injured for the season, he was supposed to be our starting DT.
Wait, what?
No. I think he was supposed to be replaced
next to Oliver.
Ed would.
I thought that he was in the starting lineup before he got injured. Am I wrong?
Was Daquan Jones must have been hurt then, because either Ed or Daquan was hurt. I think Ed was out. I believe.
Oh, okay, maybe.
Yeah, I believe Ed was out because he wasn't starting over either one of those guys. But yeah, he was supposed to be a one tech. They were trying to move him to one tech at 295 pounds. This is the same team. Yep. I wrote just said they do it, but this is the same team that tried to bring in Gable Stevens at 275 pounds and 5'10" at defensive tackle. This is the same team that has Travis Clayton at 6'7", 301 playing guard or wherever the hell they got him at, that he's going to run out of his eligibility when you can have him at D tackle when you need one. Matter of fact, why didn't he get to play D tackle when TJ Sanders was hurt, when Ed Oliver was hurt? Why is it that what are we doing? What are we doing? He was already in the team. We're bringing all these people. Whatever.
Dwayne Carter is a prime example for anybody who wants to argue with me over Sean McDermott's influence on these draft picks. What was the primary thing that people talked about, or the first thing that people started to talk about when you mentioned Dwayne Carter after he was drafted?
The 4-year, are you talking about the 4-year captaincy, or are you talking about the wrestling background?
The 4-year captaincy, the leadership, all that. Like, that was the big thing about Dwayne Carter. Well, he's a leader and 4-year captain, and he's got the experience. Nobody talked about sacks. Nobody talked about his.
He didn't have any. How could you?
I know.
Landon Jackson.
Huh?
Landon Jackson.
Landon Jackson is another prime example.
All we heard about was how NFL ready he is. He's so mature for his age.
He's married already.
If this does not scream Sean McDermott's style, I don't know what does. I can't see any of the scouts going to Brandon Beane and saying, yo, Landon Jackson is it. 3rd round, don't even bother looking at any other pass rushers. Don't even buy wide receiver. What? Over Landon Jackson? Can you imagine any of our scouts going to Brandon Beane and saying, yo, if you don't draft Landon Jackson in the 3rd round, what's wrong with you? I
wasn't one of them, but I know I do know Brandon Beane did like Landon Jackson though.
I mean,
I hate it. I know what you're saying. I think that's what I was like.
Though? he's saying that publicly.
I was like, no, he was at the
Senior Bowl.
The Senior Bowl. He was at Arkansas games. Look at that. I'm like, and that, remember before I said we're gonna draft this guy. Remember I said that? I said we're gonna draft him. And sure as heck, I almost said it. Ooh, sure as heck. Right? But yeah, I was like, but no, you're right. You know, and I roll, the rugby guy, that's Clayton who I'm talking about, that could play D tackle at 6'7", 301, but they don't want to do that. So let's see. Kevin Harris, I told you guys last year they would draft him. Yep, I did. You did. Me and you actually had a lot of the same takes, Kev. Mm-hmm. We actually did for a long time. I think that would have been the blessing in disguise for Bernard if Milano would, because I thought Milano was going to be the injury maven, and I thought we're going to have a situation where we needed a steadfast middle linebacker that couldn't move. And I thought our athletic little guy was going to be over there ripping, causing havoc as a weak side, getting interceptions and stuff. It just didn't happen. But they staunchly won't move off their guy unless he gets hurt, Taylor Rapp. And I'm glad that he's not playing. Not glad he's hurt. Because now you can see what's behind the guys that they tell you are their guys.
Yeah. The
talent is behind the guys. Because y'all, hey, as Dorothy says, my son Josh, Cole Bishop was my cousin. He was my cousin. I told y'all last year, give him time. Trust me, he's gonna be all right. He's out of position. No, he sucks. He's out of position. Trust me. Mm-hmm. He can't cover. He's out of position. Trust me. And he gets hurt. Look at this.
Yeah. This is exactly right. I mean,
you talking about Wade? He's the running back. What was that guy's name? I forget it.
That's what it was. Christian Wade.
Christian Wade.
Yeah.
I just can't remember his first name.
Oh, okay. So I like all of this really is folding into my point on why Sean should be really the one, with all the pressure without Josh even being mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because if we don't make it to a Super Bowl now, and then Mahomes comes back healthy next year, Burrow comes back healthy next year, Jackson's got his new head coach. He's happy. He's coming back healthy next year. You still got them to contend with. And then you're in year 2 of Liam Cohen, Trevor Lawrence. You're in year 3 of Bo Nix and Sean Payton. You're in year 2 of why am I forgetting Drake May and Josh McDaniels. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys are gaining experience and getting better around you, and you couldn't even get through Trevor Lawrence, Bo Nix, and Drake May?
Mm-hmm.
Who are the other quarterbacks that are in the playoffs right now for the AFC? There's
you got
Steelers, Aaron Rodgers.
You got Herbert. You got
Justin Herbert he's not a big time player.
Bo Nix. You got Drake May. You got CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud, he can be a big time player, but for some reason that offense is dysfunctional. they should not do much this. I'm telling you.
No, I'm just like, for some reason they just suck. Whatever.
Yeah, like I don't understand what it is. Like they have the players. Their offensive line is better. Like they've drafted and put guys on that line to be better this season, but they can't run the ball still. And their passing game seems to, still need some development. You know what I mean? So it's very, very tough to make a case for anybody else on this team having any kind of pressure in these playoffs aside from Sean McDermott. Yeah. And the reason I'm not putting Brandon Beane at the forefront there is
that's my job.
Well, yeah, but ultimately, who hired Brandon Beane?
Yep.
Who hired Brandon like that? So again, I think if Brandon Beane goes, Sean has to go too. You can't fire the guy that you hired to do the job and not take some of the blame with it.
I mean, yeah, you're right. I just don't know if he has enough chits in that basket to fire. If he fires Brandon Beane, if he decides, says Terry, I can't do it with him. He has to do it first. Because if Terry says you guys ain't cutting it, I think it was who was it? Oh God, I had his name. Oh God. Hold on a second. It was Benjamin Solak. He suggested if we're one and done, mutual parting of ways, citing embarrassing performance. See, what has to happen at that point is he's saying they're gonna have a sit down and what happened? What do you need? I can't deal with this anymore. I gotta move on. You guys, thanks, but no thanks. What has to happen for Sean to stay is to say, you know what? He's gonna have this conversation with us. Terry, can I have a sidebar with you real quick? I love what you did. I'm glad you hired my boy, gave him a good shot at, give him experience. He helped us do a lot of big things, but I think I need to move on. I need somebody that knows something different. He can't be told by his boss that he's underachieving. He has to tell the boss, I'm underachieving and this is why. Basically what he has to do is throw somebody under the bus. And that's the way that he's going to keep his job even past next year.
Yeah.
To get to comments real fast. I had a couple I starred.
Real quick.
Go. I'm sorry.
So the other aspect of this too, from the owner's perspective, because I get what you're saying, and I think that the relationship with owner and Sean is strong, but the other part of this too is what's going. And I want to pull this up too here. There's something going on in Arizona that I don't think a lot of people know about, and I might have to send this to myself. So let's get through these comments that you want to get to.
I had a quick hitter. Kev Hires. He said, sorry, but DeMar Hamlin also was in a hindrance to Cole Bishop. No, I don't think so. Because DeMar Hamlin never had a shot at getting a job over Cole Bishop this year. He was a placeholder last year. He played because Taylor Rapp didn't play. I just don't think that DeMar Hamlin was ever a threat to Cole Bishop. Whenever you signed him, he was depth.
He would have been in the role that Poyer's in right now, probably.
Yeah, at best. And even then, I think they would have tried to replace. Would have went out and tried to sign somebody. I'm gonna no bones. I like that question. I'm gonna hold off on that because that actually is another comment I was gonna talk about. But while you're doing that, you need some time, or how you looking?
I'm about to pull it up right now.
Okay, good.
All right, so let's get rid of that there. Now, this video I'm going to play is okay.
Now, who are these guys? This is the owner.
So this is the Arizona Cardinals' current owner and their current GM. Now, for those of you that don't know, they fired Jonathan Gannon this year. They fired their head coach, and I think he's only been there for 1 year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he was quick.
Now, okay, can we see? Let me pull it up here. All right, bam, perfect. All right, so let's make this full screen. Now, this interview here, this is the owner making a decision about a coach who realistically got the best out of a bunch of players that, for the most part, aside from like the draft class they have this year and some of the other star players that were there before this GM and got there, needs an overhaul, right? So just listen to some of the questions that are being asked here, and this will take me into my next point about the conversation of ownership's relationship with Sean McDermott.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for being here. As you all know, this morning we spoke with Jonathan Gannon and let him know that we were going to go in a different direction with our head coach. Jonathan is a very smart, motivated, enthusiastic, intelligent, awesome coach. He and his staff, their families, Gina Gannon and their families, give so much and so much sacrifice to this organization. We're so appreciative of what he put into this organization. He made us better. But I think, as you all know, this is a league about wins and losses. The wins and losses speak for themselves, especially this year. We just felt like we were going in the wrong direction and we needed to change course.
Okay, so I'm going to stop it right there. Now, to be clear, this is the coach's first year. Aaron Glenn still has his job in New York. But Jonathan Gannon, who was extremely competitive with Jacoby Brissett as his quarterback, can't keep his job. It's about wins and losses in Arizona. Apparently, it's not about wins and losses in New York. But I digress.
So we did that this morning, and we're embarking on a search that Monty will be leading to bring on our next head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. Any questions?
I guess why the decision to fire JG and keep Monty?
Well, I think when you...
So just so you know who Monty is the bald-headed gentleman here who is the Cardinals general manager. Now, the reporter just asked, why the decision to fire Jonathan and keep this dude who's sitting right there? Okay? We don't hear questions like this in Buffalo. We wouldn't dare hear questions like this in Buffalo, or you getting blackballed, right?
I mean, I'm not going to commandeer your point, but think about after Lamar and them lost to the Steelers, right? So, do you want John Harbaugh gone? What? I told him I'm stunned. Why are we having the Cardinals? Like, you don't hear that. Josh Allen's never going to get that question.
Never. So, all right, real quick, just one more minute, and then we'll get to the point here.
Look at all the wins and losses. We just felt like, of the totality of all the circumstances, the best decision was to move in a different direction with head coach. But I have worked with Monty for 3 years, and I'm very comfortable and confident in his ability to be our general manager.
Michael, there's a lot of layers to this decision. Obviously, a lot of things that go on behind the scenes. What was it ultimately that kind of came down to you saying, "Hey, we need to go in a different direction"?
I think is what I said earlier. Is we were going in the wrong direction. It seemed like it came down to wins and losses. And
okay, so that's kind of my point. So give me a minute here. The owner is talking about wins and losses. Okay, now, when you think about the concept of wins and losses, what does that mean for an owner, right? Because this is clearly an owner decision. This is clearly an owner-led decision. When you think about wins and losses, what do wins and losses usually equate to from an owner's perspective?
Yeah, well, normally, yeah.
Normally.
Yeah.
You're winning, you're making some moolah. You're not winning, you're making less moolah.
Especially in a city that doesn't care as much about their team.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, which is a lot of the flack that this owner has been getting. And even in this press conference, I encourage you guys to check this one out if you have time. But they go on to ask the owner about about his position on making attending the game harder for non-wealthy people, right? But my point in bringing this up with this particular conversation that we're having now in terms of the owner's relationship to the coach, it's very plausible that even with as close as Terry Pegula and Sean are, Terry Pegula's still got seats to sell in that stadium next season. He's still got PSLs to sell for 2027, right? They don't just stop at 2026. They're talking to people about 5-10 years if they can. trying to get businesses to commit to suites and stuff like that. They're trying to line this thing up, right? If you allow these businesses and these people that you're trying to get to buy PSLs and season tickets and all that kind of stuff to see that your head coach can't get it done in a season where there is no Burrow, no Mahomes, and no Jackson, it's going to be very easy for people to draw the conclusion, well, if Sean couldn't get it done with Josh Allen against Trevor Lawrence and Bo Nix and CJ Stroud and Drake May, how's he going to get it done against Burrow, Jackson, and Mahomes when they all three of them make the playoffs next season?
I mean, true, but that's not going to happen. You know, and that's the thing about that Buffalo is they're very loyal. They're very.
Wait, when you say it's not going to happen, what do you mean?
The fans are not going to. If we lose Sunday, the fans will be upset. They'll piss and moan.
I think there's going to be a large contingent.
We already know what's going to happen.
I don't think so.
The fans are going to come for Beans Head first, because that's the way the organization has pointed.
For sure.
McDermott's going to be safe for at least another year, even if they lose on Sunday. He's going to be put on notice if they lose bad, and he can't figure out a way to get out of it. But yeah, the fans are too forgiving. They don't like to be. They don't like to admit they are.
Fans maybe, but here's the issue with that, right? And I've been paying attention all this week. 2 to 3 of every 5 phone calls that WGR takes, there's somebody starting off or ending their points with, and I'm not a big Sean McDermott guy, or I'm not, I'm not a Sean McDermott hater, but I don't love him either, or Sean McDermott's got to go.
Right.
Those like people are starting or ending their points with one of those 3 perspectives, right? And this stuff gets heard. Again, this is the official radio station of the Buffalo Bills. This is WGR now. So they're paying close attention to what gets said on that radio station. Right. And if they see that there's a larger contingent of fans growing and growing and growing that are all starting to say Sean McDermott, Sean McDermott, Sean McDermott, that has to be heard.
This is you're right, but this is where you're not mentioning the people that say that still will go to the game in their Bills jersey. Yeah. They're still spinning that thing that you said the owner wants.
Yeah.
And they're still going to buy the PSLs. They're still going to get season tickets. So in actuality, the owner has to have an issue with Sean. I mean, it's wins and losses here aren't a thing. I actually, it's funny you played that because I was going to say something and Kev said, Keys, you're wrong. J.A. and wife orchestrate his removal. Lamar showed the way. No. J.A. is never going to orchestrate anybody's removal. But this I found interesting. Everybody, we made fun of this person. This kind of goes to your point because the owner as well. And this goes to my sitting duck owner point. Because you never hear Terry Pagula, but somebody called Carly Irsay Gordon. Did anybody know who that is? Anybody? Carly Irsay Gordon?
The Colts owner.
Right. The one that's on the sideline in her Balenciaga shoes, writing everything down the earbud, and because she don't know football. This is her press conference.
How the latter part of our season went. I'm pissed. We are all pissed. Even though we didn't get the results we expected, I'm confident in what we're building and how we're building it. We have been very clear with Chris and Shane that giving them another opportunity means that the sense of urgency for them to deliver and perform has never been higher.
You're on notice.
Ultimately, though, I am responsible for our team's performance and the promise that we made to be the best. I think the hope is always to stay healthier, but I think it's also about, 47 seconds left in Seattle. It's about, like I said, finishing games. Kansas City, you lose your starting quarterback. That's on Chris and Shane to be able to find a way to finish those games because injuries are never an excuse. So I would say I'm going to stay in my lane on evaluating the quarterback position, but I think, that was something that was, I think, a great decision. It's really unfortunate with what happened with Daniel. And what we saw though was really promising. And I think it's up to Chris and Shane what they want to do.
Her dad just dies and she names them out. They know better and they're being watched. You're on notice. Pagula's not going to say that.
Shout out to Key's new phone, first of all.
It didn't die mid thing, yeah.
So no, I get it. But here's the other aspect of this that I included on top of the landscape of the NFL playoffs. What fans are saying on a regular basis now in a very public space that the Bills are connected to. The other part of this is what's going on with the Sabres right now, right? Terry Pegula is seeing firsthand what happens when you get the wrong guy out of the building. Right. And when I say the wrong guy out of the building, I mean the guy that needed to go, the guy that was wrong for the organization, the guy that was holding things back. He's seeing what happens when you get that guy out of the building, and it relieves tension, frustration, everything else in the building, and people can just focus on what needs to be focused on, which is winning games. They fired the GM. They go on a 10-game win streak. They lose one game. Now they're on a 2-game win streak. Right. So
look at you, hockey man.
I'm paying attention a little bit now because we win it. So I'm paying attention a little bit. But he's seeing this stuff happen. He's like, yo, what removing one guy can lead to this? I
still think it points to Bean though.
Yeah.
Especially with everything that the organization has been doing action-wise this season, more and more.
Yeah, it's the point at
focused on even this week. If you listen to McDermott's press conferences, his interviews on the radio, he's mentioned multiple times about the Jaguars game. Man,
Myers.
Yep, not just Myers. He also is bringing up Newsome. He's talking about all of their deadline transactions and how much it affected that team.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I get it. I think what the point that brings us to though is we have to see how smart the owner is, because the assumption that we're operating on when we're saying that Brandon Beane is the most likely is we're assuming that the owner is seeing the same narratives in media, social media, podcasts that we're seeing, that press conferences and all that point towards Beane. But this guy is inside the building. He can talk to anybody he wants to find out what's really going on if he really wants to. Like, he can pull anybody into his office and they will really give him the real deal. And if he's smart, he would do that. And somebody who is hiding behind anonymity, which typically happens in companies, you go and you talk to the boss and they tell you, look, I'm not going to bring your name up in any conversations. Just tell me what's going on. Somebody is going to tell him what's really happening. And I guarantee we know this from what Pegula has said before. He has separate conversations with Beane and Sean. So I don't doubt that Pegula is well aware of the dynamic between Sean and Beane right now and what's been going on. Mm-hmm. I started saying what I was saying about Beane possibly getting fired at the beginning of the season, mostly off of what I saw Sean saying in press conferences, mm-hmm. and how I saw the dynamic pointing everything at Beane. But I don't want to just sit back and assume that because Sean has done such a good job in pointing people's attention towards Beane, that the owner is going to fall for that. I don't think that's right either. We can both be wrong. We can both be right. We'll see how smart the owner is at the end of the season. But I think it's viable. That's all I'm really saying is I think it's very viable now with that report that I just told y'all, and from the standpoint of a source saying that there's a strong sense that the Packers and Bills coach could be fired, and that's why John Harbaugh is waiting until after the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm really interested in, I know a lot of people will probably push back on this, but Vince and McGrady putting pressure on Terry. I don't think Terry cares a lick about them. The Haley's, what's her name? Well, Haley Allen. I don't even know what her last name is, but yes, that's right. I was gonna say something close, but not that. I don't know what kind of creature, how many times you guys saw Sinners or whatever, but whatever. I have to see it to believe it. I have to see it to believe it. There's a reason why Pegula said you guys get pennies on the dollar, because Vince and McGrady they're not, even the majority minority owners. They're minority owners with a lot of other organizations that took up that 25%. So I think we're kind of overstating what they're capable of, and we don't really know what Pegula's demeanor is. So, I don't really need to go into firing him right now. Let's wait till Monday. But before I had a couple other things pertaining to the Jags game that I had written out in my notes for what I was worried about, what I was good with, what I was bad with, and as far as I look at my notes, I'm saying, what am I worried about? Like I said before, I'm worried about the Bills not winning the game. I'm not worried about them losing to the Jaguars. I'm worried about them losing to themselves. I'm worried about them coming out and trying to evaluate and try to feel out the Jags in the first quarter, second quarter, when the Jags may or may not be coming out with their hair on fire. Who was it? Because somebody asked you a question earlier with regards to the statement you made. Nico, he said, is this true? He was talking about the 15-second thing that you said. Is it too late to change that habit for him? I hope not, because if you're changing a habit, I know this is for airmen, but if you're changing a habit in the 11th hour, it usually doesn't go too well.
And you're not going to do it at home either,
That's
where you've got the advantage in terms of noise.
It usually doesn't go too well when you change something to that, because that's a major part of their offensive philosophy. When your quarterback, look at McDaniel and Tua. When people figured out that Tua was getting told by McDaniel everything to do, it didn't look good. And so I think by them trying to outsmart us and say, you know what, we're not doing that. You do your thing. If he's not used to it on the field, it's not going to turn out well at all.
But you know what that says about Trevor Lawrence and also Jared Goff, who was getting that same training under Sean McVay. You know what that says about them, right?
What?
That says that they don't process the game fast enough to just be relied upon to do it themselves.
Yep.
Whether it's a developmental thing for those quarterbacks or this is just who they are. Trevor Lawrence has been in the league for a while. Jared Goff, when you look at the offense he runs, he has so many playmakers around him to make his processing easy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you do with quarterbacks like that. You make their job easier so that you can still have a productive offense and you can still have good quarterback play, but you're not putting so much on that quarterback's plate that it weighs him down and he can't make the plays that need to be made. So similar situation with Trevor Lawrence is what we've seen with Jared Goff. And when you look at the Jaguars offense and all the weapons that they put around him, it explains it now. Not only is the offensive coordinator / head coach helping him from a processing or from a processing what he sees standpoint, but you're putting all these weapons around him and make his processing that much easier.
Right.
So
I like this. Well, go. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, go.
I like this question. This comment. He said, "I don't know. Bean ran down on those GR guys. B might pull up, because guess what? As soon as he gets that pink slip, Jeremy White and Joe DiBiase would dog walk him. Yeah, they would dog walk him.
I think he was referring to his earlier comment where he said he wanted to see McDermott and Bean in a fight, and whoever wins gets to keep their job.
Yo, that was hilarious.
I didn't see that.
You didn't see it? I
told him got to be careful because McD's a wrestler.
Hey,
he said winner stays.
Well, I might jump on McDermott's back just for this one time. But no, I like I said, I don't want this to be a tale of two halves. It can't be. This game cannot be a tale of two halves. It cannot be one of those games where we come out slow and then at halftime we got you where we want. The rope-a-dope is not going to work this week. Not when you're 0-2 against this team. We played down to them. Actually, we played up to nothing when we played with Ty God in 2017. Yeah,
never say that on.
That was a snooze fest. Oh,
never say that.
All the flack I caught about Tyrod. Oh, I'm saying it. All the flack, not from you per se, but I never liked Tyrod. I'm saying it. Because they like Ty God. Then
who said that? Who?
Ty God? You never heard that before?
No.
You've never heard Ty God?
Right.
No.
That is serious.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah.
It's really a thing.
Yes.
When did Ty God become a thing?
Why did I hate him so much?
Back when he was starting.
Yes.
Here?
Yes.
Yeah.
What the? No way.
Yes.
No way.
Chat. Put it in there.
I never knew Tyrod as Ty God. Never.
Ty God.
Hey,
yes.
I always appreciated Tyrod.
He was
a cool dude.
He was a cool dude, but
it's like EJ Manuel. He was a cool dude too, but
EJ Manuel sucks eggs.
Lynn is my guy. I absolutely never liked Taylor. Yes. I never, let's see. Tyrod once at 52 yards passing in a full. Yeah, that was probably the playoff game. No,
you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Just like I'm from Buffalo. I never heard it. Like we in Buffalo right now. I've never heard
Ty
this.
God. It was, oh man, it was bad. It was annoying. It was
The
annoying.
worst part about that playoff game, though, was having Nate Peterman come in.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's when you knew, like, there's no chance now.
Yeah. Okay, so nobody. Okay, good. So me and you evidently, even though it was on social media.
The only ones. I mean, Nate never heard it. Laura never heard it. I mean,
these people ain't fans.
Wow.
Right? Zoomer never. I mean, I'm glad I'm not the only
never
one
knew.
never
Ty
knew
got
that
it.
was a
If
thing.
you, go ahead and put it in X and just put in a search bar Ty Guide and see what happens. You're gonna find Ty Guide, Tyrod Taylor.
We got
It was definitely a thing.
We're finna do it right
Oh,
now.
it was a thing. Ty Guide.
Man,
Look at that. Look at the first thing.
What? Okay, hold on. I'm sharing this. I'm sharing
geez, are we
this.
the only fans here?
Evidently.
So you Google this dude. Let me pull this up. So you Google this dude, and this is the first picture that comes up right here. Is this guy? What in the world? Okay, we're not showing all that, but this is what comes up. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yep.
5 upvotes. I will get this. Oh, so somebody trying to get a Ty God tattoo.
Yep.
This is crazy.
Ty Guide. Yep. See, go to Twitter if you can and see if you can get a Ty Guide. But yeah, so
when he got benched in the Chargers game for Peterman, everyone that was Ty God fans was livid.
they were pissed. They were pissed.
All right, let's go into Twitter here.
This
Let's
is
see what we can
hilarious.
find.
I am laughing about this.
Where,
And why you do that? Yeah.
All right, yep. Search. Ty God.
There it is.
There it is. Second one down. Okay, hold on. I gotta share this. Well, here it is. Okay, boom. All right. So soon as you search it, this is what come up. Right? You got this video. Next one down. Please, no one forget who ended the drought.
Ty God.
Ty God.
And this is from 2024. We didn't do this. Ty God. Go down worse. New York Jets and Ty God. Okay, so yeah, this is the thing. Look at it.
You got to give it to Tyrod though.
Can't say who we're. What's up? I'm sorry.
He had a good tailor. Dude had a good tailor.
He
always looked fresh in his suits.
He did look fresh. Look at
He
it.
had no shoulders.
Now go down more. Go down more. Ty God Taylor. Anyone? This is the Jets. The Jets put that Ty God Taylor.
I don't.
By the way, we're not seeing this on the.
Oh, they're not. You can't see it.
Huh? I thought I put it up. Oh, I didn't.
Okay,
Oh
there we
my
go.
Gosh. Okay, sorry about that.
So yeah, so real fast, yes.
So let's go back up. All right. So this is what we were talking about. Please, no one forget who ended the drought. Then you got friggin', where is it?
Right there.
This video here. Babe, wake the F up. It's Ty God Shove Day. And then this one here.
The Jets.
From
Ty
the
God
Jets.
Taylor. Anyone?
Ty God Taylor.
Yes.
This is
5 days. Ty God days till Bills football 2022. Down more.
wow.
Ty God, show me who you are. This is the Giants.
Wow.
Ty God was a thing. Dan, I feel vindicated. What about you?
Was
Yeah.
this preseason this year?
No, this is 2020. Oh, yeah, no. It had
It's
to be.
2025.
Yep. Wait,
Wow.
go down one more. Oh, no, that's a little kid. They call him Ty God too. Okay, never mind. Yep.
And then there's that picture there. There's
Ty
another
God.
one. Ty God. This is a real thing.
It was a very real thing.
Holy crap.
It was a very real thing. But yeah, so I mean, you got to go back to 1996. I think their first ever playoff game was against us in Jacksonville. We lost there. I forget the score, honestly. I think it was 30 to 27 or something like that. So they've scored 40 total points against us in up to date against our 10. So they're rocking us out right now. But this year is the year we change. We actually have a legit quarterback. We have an A1 running back. We have Tommy, if you're still here, we have the U for no other reason but BGG. I'm not going to say what it stands for because I better get going in about half an hour. Okay. All right, Mafia. You know what? That's what you get now.
You got your own hand logo now.
No. This is when you're against Miami. The other team when they going against Miami, they put the U upside down.
Really?
Yeah.
That's offensive to Miami?
Yeah, because Miami puts the U up. So when you make a play against you, Miami, they put it down. They put it upside down.
I would just be like, oh, you retarded. Okay. All right. Okay.
Look, he said, damn you, Keys. He knows. But no, but
you better rep the U.
but honestly, this is what I'm confident in. Manuel Acho said it. He said, James Cook, he's one of them ones. Mm-hmm. And like I said earlier, who they played against before? Horns down. Yeah. Okay. That's what we're doing. But
did you watch that whole part where they were talking about Josh? Acho and Shady?
Yes. Yeah.
Which side are you on? Because Shady was basically saying like it's a whole team thing, and like I know you've already said that you hate that, but there's some validity from the standpoint of, you know, Josh has players, they're just not used the way that a traditional team would use those players.
Yeah, I mean, I like you said, it's not Josh, and I don't think it's majority players. I think people have to see through the weeds, because I tell people all the time, you know, not Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir he's not being used anywhere near his capacity. He's not. And I told the guys that Stephon Diggs was used the way they're trying to use Khalil Shakir when he left. That's what they tried to do with him, and that's why he stunk. Yeah. Bubble stream. He's like, I don't get yak yars. Throw me the ball, I go down. That's what I do. I try to juke one person, it don't work, I fall down. That's what I'm not getting hit. Oh, you want me to run bubble screens? Mm-hmm. McDermott, get your boy. Oh, that's your boy? I'm out of here. Get me out of here. That's the longest short story. But you know, I think it has to boil down to philosophy is the scapegoat right now, because you're making Josh do what Josh doesn't like doing. You're making too many players on this team one-dimensional. You're making them less thans, and they're getting ridiculed right now. They hear the noise, even though they say they don't. They hear the noise. Oh, I'm not good. Why was I good elsewhere? Why even Gabe Davis? Why did I get a $14 million contract in Jacksonville? I mean, I'm not there now. I wanted to sock out Trevor Lawrence, but they paid me. They saw my potential. Look what I'm doing here. We're all behind Keon Coleman here in regards to production, even though he sat 4 games. Somebody explain that, you know, and that speaks volumes. I think somebody ran a stat where nobody had anything over, Dan, if you correct me if I'm wrong, but nobody had anything over, was it like 216 yards, something like that in the last whatever games. For us, it's like, that's egregious. That's egregious. You know, James Cook isn't catching the ball. Ty Johnson isn't catching the ball. Ray Davis isn't catching the ball. Receivers aren't catching the ball. It's bad. It's just bad. If you look at Jacksonville, their defense as well, they don't really get sacks on quarterbacks. They got Matt Stafford. Where they get Matt Stafford 5 times, something like that. They got Jacoby Brissett 6 times. They got Stafford 3 times. Geno Smith put up 4 touchdowns on him. Matt Stafford put up 5 touchdowns on him. Stafford, Mills, and Smith were blitzed more than 10 times. That's it. Nobody else besides those 3 were blitzed more than 10 times by Jacksonville. That bodes well. You got to blitz Josh. Mm-hmm. And when you blitz Josh, they do these things called green blitzes, where basically what happens is the blitzer only comes when his man stays in blocks. That means if they do that against us, they're never going to blitz, because we run 5-man protection schemes a lot. So their guys are going to be in coverage. So there's going to be no pressure on Josh unless they decide to change. When they change their philosophy on the fly, that means nothing but good things for us. If you want to delve into their run game, where did I have that? I had numbers on their run game. You have their 11th in turnover worthy pass. Or I'm sorry, no, that's not them. If you're looking at Jacksonville doing one thing well, and that's pressuring the quarterback. Not sacking, but pressuring the quarterback. But we have Josh Bain Allen, as I like to call him. He thrives in pressure. In pressure situations, he's 11th in turnover-worthy passes, so he's about average. He's 3rd in average depth of target, so it actually goes up when he's pressured. He's 12th in adjusted passer completion rating under pressure. He's 11th in passer rating when under pressure. Those are good numbers when you're pressuring this guy that has wheels as well, that has James Cook as well. Their guys are going to be looking at more than just one person. And it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot for them to process. This is going to be one of the hardest offenses without receivers that they've played this whole year. We got to, I got to say it because they say it now. An elite running back. We got an elite running back. We got an elite quarterback. Mm-hmm. This is a team that Jacksonville is going to really have to cut their teeth on. I know our guy in here. I hope you subscribe. Hope you like, whatever the case may be. Come back again, even if we win. If you win, come back. But these are things that Jacksonville is not ready for. They're not ready for what we have to offer, and that's why we have to play our game and not try to figure out what they're doing. What were you gonna
say? Steve said, fun fact, the Bills have played 2 top 15 offenses this year, Atlanta and New England, and we lost to both teams. Remember to add that to your Bills' top defensive stats. And then I think this response from Daquan is to that. He says, this is disgraceful. Anytime I play a basketball game, I do not think about what happened last game. If so, why bother to play? The Bills have a clean slate. They have not lost to the Jaguars this year. I think
I like it.
I don't. I think it's an oversimplification. I understand the mentality of trying to approach the game fresh, and I think the Bills are doing that. But if you're completely disregarding your history with the team or the way that they've played you or some of the conceptual things that they've done against other teams this season, then you're not doing all of your research. You're choosing to ignore some of it because you don't think it's relevant.
Well, I didn't take it as that. I took him saying last game was in even last week. There's too many things, like you just said, too many conceptual things that changed to really say, oh man, we're 0-2 against them. We don't play well on the road. This and third. Every game is a game, and as an athlete, you've been there. You played against people that you had no business beating, and I'm sure you beat them. And what I learned later in life is the guy that goes to the court with the Jordans and the armbands and the shooter sleeve, he's a scrub. He's an absolute bum, but you can't get wrapped up in the visuals. You can't get wrapped up in the lore of what this guy is because he comes with the Jordan bag and he's like, he's overstretched and looking around like, who got next? I don't care about you, dude. Beat me. And I think that's what Daquan is saying. Beat me. You haven't beat me this year. Until you beat me, I am not worried about what you could do because I'm going to give you all I got. And if that's not enough, then we can talk about McDermott getting fired, Bean getting fired, Josh Allen's not good. No, James Cook sucks. He's a paper tight. We can talk about all these things, but I mean, right now it's just they got to beat us. And like I said, I don't think they can beat us. I think we're going to beat us if we lose.
I agree with that part, but I okay. Let me put it like this: how am I supposed to scheme up what I'm going to do in this game against the Jaguars? Mm-hmm. What is my scheme in this game going to be based off of? Is it going to be based off just the players they have? No NFL team scouts just based off the players you have, right? So what do I have to do? I have to see how you use what you have.
For sure.
Okay, so if I'm doing that, where's the reference? The reference is going to be other games.
No, I think he's talking about specifically against us.
No, I know. I get that. But what I'm saying is if I've never played this team this season, then where am I going to get my information from? It's got to be other games.
You got to watch them play other teams.
Right. So what I'm saying is you watch this defense to get a feel for what they typically do, what they do best, what they don't do best. But none of that this season has been against you. Okay, fine. You still got to get that information from somewhere.
Sure.
Right. So what I'm saying is if I'm reading this comment and maybe Daquan wants to chime in again and clarify if I'm getting this wrong, but based on what he's saying, he's not worried about what happened last game, last week, the last time we played them, the last time they played anybody. He's saying he's only concerned about this game. If he's playing a basketball game, he's only concerned about this game. And what I'm saying is if your mentality is you're only concerned about this game, then you're kind of missing the point of scheming up things in game planning. Because game planning is solely based on what you've done to this point and how we can overcome that and how we can manipulate that and how we can beat you with that. So, look, it's okay to feel confident to say, I don't care what you've done before. You ain't doing that against me. To me, that's a different conversation from we don't need to worry about what they've done before because we haven't played them this season. Oh, okay, you still got a game plan. So
Well, yeah,
what are you going to use?
I like I said, I took it as specifically us. I mean, obviously you got to scout like we talked about when you brought the resume. You got to scout who beat them, how they beat them. You got to scout who lost them, how they lose to them. But for me, I don't care personally how they played us last year or how we played them 2 years ago or 5 years ago, because that personnel changes, that philosophy changes. They got the whole new coach. Peterson's gone, and now we got Duval. And I think what you need to do is figure out what their tendencies are and how can you counteract it. I think Daquan is saying that he's watching and taking into account the way they play and what they're doing well and what they're doing bad, but he's not saying, well, we can't beat this team because whatever reason. I think that's what I'm getting.
Steve says the Bills have a clean slate but a dirty resume of bad picks, bad coaching, bad contracts, and an overall bad team that loses to defenses that can force us to throw. And field and offense is decent. Let's get to this film real quick, because I wanted to show a concept that it's very basic, but this worked really well against the Jaguars pretty much all season. And this is something that folds over from the conversation that I was having last night with Arthur Moats and Coach D, where we were talking about the discipline of each team, right? And we went from bringing up the penalty stats of, the Bills are ninth in the league in penalties at, I think it's 109. And actually I got it on my screen here. Let me just pull it up. So the Bills are, let me just scroll up real quick. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay. So the Bills are ninth in the NFL with total penalties at 101. And the Jaguars are 29th in the league with 128 penalties. They talked about on WGR this morning how the Jaguars, most of their penalties are on their defense, right? Same thing exists for the Bills, defensively. And the thing about both defenses is they're still fairly young. Mm-hmm. Both defenses are. And that can play a part, right? But when you're getting to you looking up something?
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. But when you get to the play on the field and you're playing as much zone as the Jaguars are playing, you have to be disciplined in your approach. And if you're not disciplined in your approach, you're gonna see things like what I'm about to show you right now. Okay. Sorry about the pixelation here. Bam. All right. So what we're seeing here is going to be a simple high-low concept, right? Against the Jaguars zone defense. And all a high-low concept is you're trying to bait a defender that's, playing down low in zone coverage to stay low, because they're worried about the receivers that have opened themselves up underneath. What that does is that opens up a little bit of space right behind them. On the other side of the field, you're going to see the top two receivers running deeper routes. Those routes are designed to push the safeties and whatever deeper coverage they have back, which opens up the middle of the field of this Jaguars defense. So I'm going to play it. You're going to get some motion here. So right now, all the receivers are on that side. All right. So I'm going to stop it right here. So here's what you got. 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders playing that underneath coverage. This looks like, hold on, is this the same play? Yeah, so they started to play man after a while. So the defense they're playing is more of a zone hybrid. And I think they just wanted to have man-to-man coverage against Cortland Sutton up top. With zone underneath, right? So I'm gonna stop it here. So you got one of their wide receivers, their slot guy. I think this is Mims, right by the 30, the number 30 here at the bottom of the screen, and then their running back number 12 is going out to the flat there. All right. So now at this point, you can see both corners. I'm sorry, not both corners. You got the linebackers and this corner at the bottom here. Basically just waiting to see if the ball is going to go underneath, Okay. Now, at this point, what else do you see? You see this cornerback here, or safety rather, going all the way back. This is Wingard, their other safety. He's going all the way back because he's got single high coverage. So they're playing man against both the starting receivers. The slot receiver is in the flat. Their running back is in the flat. They're forcing these four guys right up front here for the Jaguars to stay focused on these underneath receivers, right? Once the play goes, you see the deep crosser get hit to Evan Ingram. And sorry about the pixelation here, right? I'm going to back it up a little bit so you can see the play happen. The tight end here is right here, right above the 40. That's the tight end, Evan Ingram. That's the guy that's going to get the catch. So you're going to see him run across the field right underneath that top coverage and just past this underneath coverage. It's a simple high-low concept. Okay. Now the reason, look at the space around number one right now. There's nobody around this guy.
Would you say he's fast?
Evan Ingram is one of the faster tight ends in the league.
What's fast though?
I think he
4.5?
I think he ran a 4.4. I think he ran a 4.4.
Okay, so he's not a blazer per se.
No.
Okay. Wow. You see all the space?
Yeah.
That's called scheming.
Right.
That's called scheming somebody open.
Right.
Did you hear that, guys?
Yeah. So the reason I'm bringing up this play is two reasons: to show you the high-low concept that works against this Jaguars defense really well because of their level of discipline. But the other side of this too is what Ingram did on this play is exactly what we've seen Kincaid do all season long. Running those deep crossers, getting to those spaces of the field that are wide open, so that and now mind you, I think this is a 33-yard play. Right? And this is a 33-yard play on what down and distance is. This is first and 10. First and 10. Denver's got the ball on their own 35 and they hit them for 33 yards. This can be done, people, against this defense. Mm-hmm. This is a simple high-low concept. This is something the Bills can do against zone coverage, which Josh Allen rips up and has ripped up all season long. This season. You know what I'm saying? So when we're talking about all of the ancillary stuff that we've touched on today, the narratives about this game, all that stuff, the research, when you do the research and you really dive into what a team does and you figure out, man, they're really not that disciplined. Man, Trevor Lawrence holds the ball a lot. Trevor Lawrence's third down numbers.
Third downs, turnovers, holds the ball.
Right.
Can't read a defense if it's complex.
Like this is all stuff that comes out in research. And this is why we do this stuff. But again, if we're doing this, and the Buffalo Bills have way more information than we can get from scouts that they have watching the team all season long. You know what I'm saying? Like they should be able to capitalize on all of this stuff. But I just thought that was a very interesting play. Let me see if I think I got another example of high-low stuff here. Let me just see. All right, yeah, so this is another one here. I'll bring this one up. This is a good one because this is kind of showing, what Josh Allen can do against his defense too. And for those of you that are all, well, we're not the Broncos, eat it.
You're right, we're better.
Exactly. All right. So what are we looking at here? So, all right. So again, they're going single high. So this is cover 3 is what we're seeing right now. Cover 3 defense. You're going to see Bo Nix break out, but look at where the ball goes to. Okay. Same concept, same high-low concept. Sean Payton knew what he was doing this whole entire game. When it counted most, he went with the high-low concept. You got 2 underneath receivers here drawing these defenders forward. You got a single high there, and now you're going to see the space open up in the middle. Watch this. All right, so Bo Nix breaks out, gets the ball to Cortland Sutton right in the middle of the field. Okay? Now, this is a designed offensive play.
We're not seeing this play.
Oh, my bad. My bad. Apologies. I'll back it up. All right, so here you go. Cover 3. You're going to see Bo Nix break out. I'll pause it here so you can see the 2 receivers underneath. You're going to have 2 routes that are taking these deep defenders further. All right. And then you're going to see the route coming over the middle here, which is basically the same deep crosser that Evan Ingram ran. Now you just got Courtland Sutton running it. And all Bo Nix is doing is buying time for this play to open up. So here it is here. Now I'm going to stop it there. Look at that. Underneath the underneath defenders committed to these underneath receivers. Bo Nix bought himself some time. Who's the open guy here? Well, you look up top. Both of these guys are covered with a defender over the top. You're not going to those guys. Who's wide open? Courtland Sutton right over the middle. Same play. High-low concept. Split the defense wide open. You got your guy wide open over the middle. Play gets made. The Bills can do this with Khalil Shakir. They can do this with Josh Palmer. They can do this with Kincaid.
All of them. Everybody.
You name it.
Everybody.
There should be no excuse why the Bills do not rip that defense to shreds.
Yep.
There should be no excuse. I don't care how the Bills have played all season long. In the playoffs, it's completely different. You're scheming up to play one team, right? So if that's the case, get the job done.
Yeah. So with the last 10 or so minutes is the hot burning topic of the day. I'm going to entertain it just because unless did you have something else?
No, go ahead.
All right. So
here we go.
As everybody knows, there was a firing yesterday, and it's making his waves around town.
I love it.
I
love it. I
talking
love
about the South Bay boy.
I'm talking about the South Bay boy.
Okay, I love it. Okay, I was talking to you about this earlier. I said, okay,
I don't. You hate it, don't you?
No.
Really?
No.
I'm shocked.
No.
Okay.
I liked him as a coach there. I liked him.
Yeah.
And looking back at what he's done, what is Mike McDaniel? Mike McDaniel is this. Mike McDaniel, I broke it down. Mike McDaniel he's the Josh Allen. I think he would have a hard time with Josh Allen, I think, because he's a time and rhythm, define reads kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Josh is like, nah, fam, I'm chaos. Give it to me. I think McDaniel he could scheme it up. But I think where McDaniel really would get the offense's ears and eyes, and I'm gonna say McDermott's eyes as well. What does he like to do? Run the football.
Mm-hmm.
He likes to run the football, and James Cook is a perfect running back for his scheme. Perfect running back. He's got the cuts, he's got the inside leverage, he's got the outside, he's got it all. And McDaniel loves this. The reason why I thought about this and I laughed about it was because could you imagine the weekly meet where they gotta talk about the game plan going into the McDermott looks at his palm, probably like, I got a 9:30, a 10:30, 11. I gotta talk to McDaniel. I gotta talk to him. Okay, what are we doing? He's like, there's gonna be a football, there's gonna be hitting violence. We might throw more than we run. I don't know. We'll see what the weather tells us to do. McDermott's like, could you get to the plan? What are we doing? Who's getting? We'll see. It's somebody's gonna win. We might win more than we lose. Nobody knows. But I'm thinking of Type A McDermott and this guy who's off in his own little world. But this was beautiful because I'm thinking about the athletes we have, the forethought, what he could do with somebody like Keon Coleman, what he could do with somebody like Khalil Shakir, what he could do in the scope of what McDermott likes, because he likes to run the football. He likes to run. Dayball does not. McDermott, Dayball hate each other. Why? Why does Brady not get along? Well, we don't know if he gets along with McDermott for real, but why can't they mesh? Because Brady can't run. That's why Cromer's the guy. Insert McDaniel. McDaniel's a head coach. McDaniel's done it. He was lauded somewhere as an offensive coordinator. Now. What are you talking about, Tommy? We're talking about offensive coordinator. You say he's not a very good head coach. He's the best fit for an. That's what we're talking about. He had weapons galore. Whatever. We have weapons as well if you know how to use them. See, that's the problem. People look at the Bills that we have nobody because we have nobody to run them the right way.
You gotta know how to use them.
You gotta know how to use them. So this is my question for you. This is the paradox that I have, and I want you to answer this and think about this here.
Okay.
You want McDermott gone.
Mm-hmm.
This team likes to elevate people through the trenches. They like to elevate people through the system.
Mm-hmm.
McDaniel is an offensive-minded guy.
Mm-hmm.
They fired McDermott halfway through the season. They elevate McDaniel. What would you do? Would you be cool with him being our head coach, knowing what he did in Miami?
Would I be cool with
McDaniel being elevated to the head coach?
Yes.
You would. Okay.
I would. And here's why. Sean McDermott, I think we can all admit, has not even been one of the best defensive coaches in the NFL.
Right.
Unless he was in a coordinator position. And even then, he was not widely regarded as this elite defensive mind. He wasn't known as a guru throughout the league. He had really one great season to talk about in which they made it to the Super Bowl, right?
And that was Cam Newton.
Exactly. On the back of Cam Newton did Sean see success. So with what we've seen McDaniel do with Tua, I mean, we don't need to go any further than to say McDaniel and Josh Allen, because look what Josh Allen has done for Sean McDermott. And if Josh Allen is good enough to make Sean McDermott look good, and Mike McDaniel can do with Tua what he did and make Tua look that good, when the head coach before him was like, he basically lost his job because he didn't want to play Tua.
Yep.
And here comes McDaniel and just turns Tua into a Pro Bowl player. Like, if you put Mike McDaniel with that ability to build up players and develop players in his offense and scheme guys into a place where they are performing better, and you put him with the best quarterback in the entire NFL, go pick whoever you want on defense. It ain't gonna matter. You got the two. Like, you talking about Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes level play on offense. If you put those two minds together as your head coach and your quarterback. Yeah. So for me, it's about who's that quarterback, because I heard somebody say this too. I forgot where they were talking about this, but they were talking about coaches that got fired. And they were talking about, one of the guys said, well, these coaches would be better if they had a quarterback. If that doesn't say it about every coach in the NFL, if you don't have a quarterback, you're probably not going to be that good of a head coach. When Tomlin first got the job in Pittsburgh, why did people love him? Because he was competing with the Patriots. He was competing with the Colts. But why was he competing with those boys? Not only did he have a really good defense, but he had Ben Roethlisberger to distribute the ball. So his claim to fame, his level of success was established by Ben Roethlisberger. Ben got old, left out of there. They haven't found a quarterback since. The next time they get any type of competent play from a quarterback is Aaron Rodgers. And that's not even saying much. But that whole time in between Ben Roethlisberger and where they are now, people are still talking about they need to fire Tomlin. What you think they're going to say when Josh retire about Sean McDermott? Well, they need to fire him. He can't find a quarterback. He can't get. If he's bad without the quarterback, then he's bad with the quarterback too. Let's just acknowledge that it's the quarterback that's doing the job for the head coach. If Mike McDaniel was able to take Tua and make him what he is, then Mike McDaniel was good before Josh Allen. We can say that. So if you put those two together, it is what it is.
You know what would be my favorite part about McDaniel?
What's that?
Bringing the fire back to the Mafia.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because Sean is a kind of guy that, like, the way he gets the Mafia going is like, yeah, cheer, get loud. The original Bills Mafia was a salty bunch of folks. They would go at media personalities.
Yep.
They were feisty.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mike McDaniel, did you see what he did when Miami won in Miami this year?
What?
He pulled up to elbow room.
Oh, yeah.
He pulled up to the Bills
in
home
Bentley.
base and was trolling them fans.
Yeah. Listen, I like that kind of stuff.
He would bring that energy for the Mafia. They would get behind him. I'll give you that much.
Yeah, for sure. Got a shout out here to Y Town's King. says, y'all can't say that. 2015 Panthers defense was a championship defense. It actually would have won the Super Bowl with their performance. You're right. You're right. I'm not saying that they weren't a good defense, but my
they had
the
macro,
MVP, huh?
They had the MVP that year.
Yeah, you freaking. I'll put it like this: they had many years of good defense before that year with Luke Kuechly, Shaq Thompson, Thomas Davis, all them boys, Kawan Short, Coney Ely, like they had boys.
Josh Norman.
You know, who's the safety they had? I forgot the safety they had, but anyway, they had many years of good defense before Cam Newton got there, right? And Sean McDermott was only there for like 3 or 4 years, something like that. Yeah. And I think he was there for a couple of years before Cam got there. And at that point, they still had a good defense, but they weren't making it to a Super Bowl. Why? Because they didn't have the quarterback.
Right.
That's kind of my point about Sean McDermott and being this defensive guru. When you think about Vic Fangio, was he a good head coach? No. Right. Why? Because he never had a quarterback.
Right.
Is he known as one of the best defensive minds in the league? Yeah. Why? Because you can see it with every team he touches.
Yeah.
You see it. Right? With Sean McDermott, is he a good defensive head coach? Is he a good defensive coordinator? Yeah, he is. Every defense that he's touched has been pretty good to great. But with that Panthers defense, he had great players on that defense.
Yeah.
Like he had playmakers on that defense. That's what made it as elite as it was and good enough to complement Cam Newton's play. That's the difference in my mind. You know what I mean? So when I'm saying you can't act like, you know, Sean McDermott is good enough schematically and as a defensive mind to carry a team the way that Mike McDaniel carried his team. That's the difference. Like Sean McDermott is not taking a Tua-like player. Like, I mean, if that's the case, Landon Jackson would have been on the field already.
Mo, I don't know if you watch this show consistently, but we're definitely not the people saying that Keon should be sitting.
Oh, not at all. No,
Yeah.
Keon needs to be playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Keon needs to be playing.
I hit this real quick.
All right. Yep. All right. Daquan says, I do not want a broken McDaniel. He can't win in the cold. No, Tua can't win in the cold.
Yeah, he almost won with Skylar Thompson. I was at the game.
Right. So let's not get that confused. But you got to get out of here, bro.
Yeah, I got to definitely get out of here.
Yep.
So, you know, did you talk to Damaris about my pitch? About my Rees nog?
No, I didn't mention to him.
Well, he better hurry up and get on the bandwagon because he's going to get keys nog in a minute. It's going to be some keys nog. But I digress. Rees tea, 1 part refreshing, 1 part delicious, 2 parts healthy. That's what I can expect. What you can expect with only 4 ingredients. I don't drink tea or eggnog, but I'm going to in a minute. Well, let me tell you, that's a good drink there. What you doing? Head over to Rees, get yourself a supply by the case or individual. Why would you do that? Get yourself a case. You won't be disappointed. But what do I know? See for yourself. Rees tea. Click the link in the description below. Let them know PPP sent you.
All right, Liza and Mo, thank you for clearing that up. You was talking to somebody in the chat.
Oh yeah, I know you weren't talking to us. I was reading. That's why I was kind of following along.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right, we got to get out of here. So here we go.
Yeah, that one's
the wrong one. That's the wrong one.
This ain't a drill.
Oh my gosh. Our bloopers are going to be the best when we finally put a clip together of all the the screw ups. There's so many of them. Jeez. All right. Thank you to everybody who stuck with us. We know the game is on, but you've been faithful enough to ride this out and pay attention to us. And we greatly appreciate that. Hopefully we've been entertaining and you've been able to enjoy what you've heard and what you've seen. If you would be so kind, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. That lets the algorithm know that we need to be out there more. All right. That's what helps us the most. The other thing that you can do to help us out, doesn't cost you anything. You can hit that subscribe button that puts us on your homepage so that when you go on YouTube, you don't really have to search anything to find us. We're going to be right there. All right. The thing that is solely for you, that's also free, that you can be selfish with, is hitting that notification bell, making that thing
ring-a-ling-a-ling,
so that you can get notifications when we send notifications like back at you on Monday with the post-game coverage of Bills v Jags. Come hell or high water, I'll be there, and we are going to make sure that if it's a good turnout, we praise it. If it's a bad turnout, you already know what to expect.
Big Jags!
I love it. Let's go. All right. So with that being said, we got to jump. This has been the Post Podium Podcast, home of the All Truth, No Sodium Takes. For our producer, Schmitty, I am your co-host, Aramis.
40 keys.
All right. Y'all have a great night.
Yeah.
GG.